It's Overreaction Monday here on Trending in the AM. We're going to talk Phillies. Ranger Suarez injuries starting to pile up. Taijuan Walker. We have an interesting conversation there or not. We're going to talk Sixers. More rumors as they're going to go on all offseason. Zach LaVine happened to be the rumor of the weekend. We'll discuss that. Eagles, mandatory OTAs this week. Will James Bradberry be there? We'll see. And I want to start the show off today. We are going to talk a little Caitlin Clark. And one word, jealousy. Trending the AM, Overreaction Monday. We're live with all your thoughts and opinions in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You know the drill. Hit those like, share, subscribe, retweet, follow buttons, whatever buttons you can do to make sure you share out this show and get as many people to find this great morning show, the best morning show in Philadelphia, the longest running daily YouTube sports show there is, and the only show where your opinions actually matter. And just so you know, if you can't donate or do those kind of things supporting the shows, the easiest way to support content creators is smashing that like, subscribe, and follow button. That is the number one thing you could do to help us content creators. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, every single morning right here on Trending in the AM. You can find me on every social media platform as I continue to share the show out. Because that's what you do. It's free to share. I'm sharing away here on my phone. You can find me if I'm on the platform. It's at Fear to Knowledge. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can find me. It's not hard to do, guys. And we've got a jam-packed first day of the week. It was a beautiful weekend. You know, weather was fantastic. I had to top off the Jeep for a little bit. Got some housework done. And now we're back to another week of grinding here between the pizza shop and Trending in the AM. It's going to be a grind this week. We got extra shows this week. I'm going to be appearing throughout the channel this week. We got lots I want to talk about today. I want to talk Phillies today. Lots of different topics with the Phillies. I already saw some comments coming in before this show about the Phillies, about losing last night. Injuries starting to mount. We got a Taijuan Walker conversation that needs to be had. So we're going to talk all about that today for sure. Eagles mandatory OTAs start tomorrow. Will James Bradberry be there or not? We're going to find out. He still hasn't been cut. He was able to be cut this weekend. He hasn't been cut yet. So let's see if maybe that's an indication that maybe he shows up tomorrow. We're going to talk that Sixers. More rumors, as there are every day. The Sixers rumor of the weekend was Zach LaVine is back on the Eagles or the Sixers radar. We're going to talk about that. But I do want to talk a little bit about Caitlin Clark this morning as well and the jealousy that is running rampant through the WNBA players and even fans over Caitlin Clark. That is going to be an issue going forward. So we got lots to talk about today. We will start there, but I want to fire through the first couple questions. This came in last night. Explanation needed. How in a game with 4 left-handed relievers being used, you don't see Sosa or JT. Yeah, there should have been an opportunity there maybe to pinch hit Sosa. Nooms, JT, he's getting a day off. Stubbs had a pretty big hit in the game. I get it. I get the frustration, but I also get giving JT the full day off. Although we do have a very light schedule this week. How long do we think Marsh will be out? Well, we're going to have to wait and see on Brandon Marsh because obviously Trey Turner had a pretty bad hamstring issue. He was 6 to 8. We thought he was coming back sooner. Rob Thompson said during the broadcast last night that Trey Turner had a little bit of a setback. Hamstring injuries, and you knew it was the hamstring right away. You knew he had a hamstring issue when he rounded first base when he first got the hit. I'm surprised no one picked up on that, pulled him out of the game sooner. So we'll have to wait and see what they say, how bad of a hammy it is, if it's a serious one or not. Problem is, if they say 4 to 6 weeks, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. If they say 6 to 8 weeks, it's probably going to be 10 weeks. Hamstring injuries, especially in baseball for players, they just linger so much. All the base running, everything that goes on in baseball, it lingers. And I'd rather you tear your ACL, and I know I've got a set time frame, than a hammy. Because I don't know. You had Ranger Suarez get hurt on Friday night, or Saturday night, get hit by a line drive back up the middle. That was Saturday night. They say he should be okay to go. He's even going to pick up a baseball today or tomorrow, depending on how the swelling. It's just a bruise. Lucked out there. But now you got Brandon Marsh going to go on the IL. And Trey Turner, like we heard, had a bit of a setback. And this is the thing. And if Brett gets to the show today, we will talk to him about this, what these setbacks could really mean. What is up? But hammies, you got to think at a minimum, he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. If it's a minor one. Trey Turner's was more severe. He was 6 to 8. And now who knows because of the setbacks? What is up, TMZ? How you doing today? He mitted it. Who mitted what? What's up? 2 Phillies games on TV in a row. And then next week, we're going to have 2 in a row because we got a short Phillies week. We got the Milwaukee Brewers coming to town. Rhys Hoskins coming home with the Brewers. Be curious to see what hit the reaction is tonight for Rhys. It'll probably be pretty phenomenal. But then we got Thursday, Friday off because then we head out to London for the Dumb London series. So it's going to be an interesting week for the Phillies this week. Random question. As a pizza expert, what's your best and worst fast food pizza chain? That is a tough question. That is a real tough question because I tend not to eat at chains too often. I try to support the local mom and pop places. But the one thing I tell people all the time, just because they're a franchise or a chain's different than a franchise. I have no problem supporting a franchise, no matter how big or small it is, because there's a local person owning and running that franchise. I don't know who's my favorite. When I was a kid, it was Pizza Hut. There was nothing like getting those little personal pan pizzas with your book club ticket, for free. There's nothing like that. I'd probably say Papa John's. I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I had a Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's style pizza. I can't tell you how long it's been. Ages. But as in college and after college, I would say Papa John's probably. Strider and Acuna are out for the season, which means that Phillies window is wide open. Wide open to win the division. We got a 6.5 game lead in the division, Barbara. Dave Dombrowski better working the phones. Better be finding ways to improve this team. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Who do I root for in the NBA Finals? That's a tough one, Brian. And we talked about this briefly last week. We are going to talk basketball a lot this week. My man, Mr. Crockpot Deebs, will be joining me tomorrow to go through a long list of Sixers offseason stuff. But we will be also using on the conversation what the Sixers need to do by looking at these two teams in the NBA Finals. You can't cheer for Boston. I'm cheering for Dallas. Kyrie, I get Kyrie has annoyed a lot of people. But Luka and the way that Dallas team plays and has been coached and has been built is a blueprint for NBA franchises. And Kyrie, for as much dopiness as he's done over the years, over the last 12 months, has really kept his head down, focused on basketball and doing his thing. And to an extent, Brian he's still never commented on the movie link that he shared out. But outside of that, he's kind of tapered back on his personality and has just continued to be playoff Kyrie. So I've got to root for Dallas 1,000%. There's no way I would ever root for the Boston Celtics. Ever. What's up, Joe? Good morning. Taijuan Walker moving up the hated ranks of athletes in Philly. Not near Tobias, but see, I was thinking of this Taijuan Walker conversation, Joe, because of Tobias Harris. Because Taijuan Walker's on a pretty big contract, all things considered. Considering the fact that, no one was offering him the deal that Phillies gave him last year. And some of you watching are new to the show. Last offseason, when the Phillies signed Taijuan Walker, I was right here on this show. Different network. Same show. And I crushed the move, saying it was a terrible move. And everyone told me I had no idea what I was talking about. That Taijuan Walker was a great signing. Oddly, the Phillies have like a 24-12 record or something like that in the last year and a half of starts that Taijuan Walker's made. So they tend to win. It's just because the offense knows they got to score a crap ton of runs whenever he's out there. But are we too harsh on Taijuan Walker too? Because Taijuan Walker stunk last night. But he did get through 5 innings and only gave up 4 runs. As your 5th starter, if your 5th starter is only giving up 4 runs, only 5 innings. If he made it 1 more inning, that's a quality start. Are we oddly too harsh on him? I don't think so. I think he stinks. I think he's massively overpaid. I think Dave Dombrowski should open up the checkbook and just buy out his contract and let him walk away. But that's me. But Tobias Harris overpaid and did okay. Taijuan Walker overpaid. He did okay last year. He hasn't done okay this year. So there is some parallels between Taijuan Walker. And I wish Mitchie Poo was in the comments so I can ask Mitchie Poo, Taijuan Walker or Tobias Harris. Deebs, you think Little Caesars is underrated? Dude, it's been probably 15 years since I've had a Little Caesars pizza, maybe longer. So I can't tell that. Papa John's is good. They were good. I don't know if they still are or not. Again, I haven't eaten that kind of pizza. Honestly, I don't eat pizza, period, when I'm not at work. I feel like I'm cheating on myself when I eat pizza from another pizza shop. Go out to a nice Italian restaurant that's got like a pizza menu. I don't get pizza. I just don't. I don't know. It's weird because I shouldn't feel guilty. I shouldn't because I'm out and about and I'm supporting a business. Remember that, though, guys. It's something that always annoys me. People are always like, you can't support X or Y business because it's a franchise and it's a chain. All those franchises and chains in your area are owned by local people, employing local people, with money being spent back in the local community. So you're not helping people by just avoiding certain chains and stuff. Exactly. Root for the Mavs for the sole purpose of the Dallas Cowboys. Look, I'm rooting for did the Stars make it to the Cup? I know Edmonton Oilers did. I guess the Stars didn't. But yeah. But again, Thebes, this comment also, most Maverick fans aren't Cowboys fans because Cowboys fans are normally Lakers fans. Because most Cowboy fans just are fugazi, They just root for the famous things, Just so you know. My Bills fans show mad because I agree with Nick W. Bills are playoff losers. Where all the conversations I'm laying out on the table today, it's Overreaction Monday. You want me to overreact? Out of all the overreacting we could do today, I've laid out 5-6 topics, and you're bringing up the Bills being playoff losers. I don't think anybody cares. How dare you guys? Fox's Pizza is number 1. Yeah, Fox's Pizza. That is right. Number 1 pizza shop, Kennett Square. There's my menu. Oops, I put it upside down. There we go. Logo, menu. Always at a drop of a dime, ready to go. What's the best pizza slice at Fox's Pizza? No slices. I sell slices. I didn't always sell slices at the pizza shop. I only recently, about a year ago, a UPS store opened next to me, and there's so much walk-by traffic because you could do Amazon returns there that I started selling. But slices of pizza sit out, so I don't like slices. I like to sell whole personal. It takes 10 minutes to make a small personal pizza. Just wait the 10 minutes. Be patient. You'll get a higher quality pizza. I had somebody actually come in the shop recently and get a whole pie. And like, oh, did you change something? I'm like, no. You've been getting reheated slices for the last 2 years or so. You get it fresh right out of the oven, it's better. So that's what. But my favorite pizza, my most underrated pizza is the upside down. It's your mozzarella cheese down first, a layer of provolone, then double sauce on top. It's a Delco thing. The upside down is number one. I hate watching the Celtics. I hate watching the Celtics, UFL, but I like looking at the Celtics. Because just like the Dallas Mavericks, the Celtics were built to win a championship. Now, you can say what you want about Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown and what kind of players they are, if they're clutch enough or not. But they were built around 2 stars and a great rotation and great depth. You bring in a guy like Drew Holiday. In previous years, Marcus Smart, glue guys. You've got quality big men, not great big men, but quality big men. You got guys on the bench that can shoot and play defense. The Mavericks and the Celtics are the blueprint. All we're doing as Sixers fans is talking about LeBron James, Paul George, Jimmy Butler. Instead of looking at building a team around your 2 stars. I believe that over the last 4 years or so, Walker has more wins than Noah. It very well could be the case. It doesn't mean Taijuan Walker is a good pitcher. Taijuan Walker is one of the most overrated pitchers there is in baseball. That is right. Rhys Hoskins returning to the bank tonight. He should get a standing ovation. And then, hold on. I thought I had to I switched to the box score. Whoever's pitching. We got Nola, Wheeler, and Sanchez going in this series. I think it's Nola. Is it Nola tonight? No, it's Wheeler. Wheeler should dust them back with the first pitch. Let him get the standing on, then dust them back. Rhys Hoskins is going to get a lot of love tonight and this week in Philly. Rhys got a lot of hate when he was here, but then as soon as he left, everyone started crying about missing him. I was always a Rhys Hoskins fan. Caesar's is bone dry. Nothing chops my bottom more than dry pizza. Can't have dry pizza. If anything, I put too much sauce on my pizza, Freddie. I get customers that come back that ask me to go lighter on the sauce because I don't like dry pizza either. I want a nice saucy pizza with good quality cheese, just so you know. That's my go-to. Only large change is my rule. Rhea Clark, the biggest issue is her teammates. Opponents are going to test her. Yeah, I really love Jason, and thank you for getting to this because I really wanted to spend some time today talking about Caitlin Clark. The response on that cheap shot that she took, and that's why I wanted to talk about Caitlin Clark. You know, I've been wanting to bring her up for a little while. Then this weekend in a game, I think it was Saturday night, Jason, waiting for an inbound pass, and one of the girls on the other team ran up and like shoulder checked, hip checked, basically ran her over, but not like not in a way that you could even disguise it as anything but a cheap shot. There was nothing done about it. Nobody cared. And there's constantly trashing of Caitlin Clark going on. She is bringing more eyes to a brand. I've paid more attention to the WNBA than ever before. I'm interested in seeing more than ever a team in Philly. Why? They're getting private charters versus flying coach. They're making more money. Their endorsement deals are going up. Eyes on the brand are going up, which is going to increase the money that could be spent on contracts down the line. Yeah, she's a rookie. I got crushed, and I'm going to go later on in this show over a thread of comments that I am an idiot, basically, according to these comments, because there are literally so many people that saw me make a tweet about this, about saying that this is jealousy from the rest of the league, and people telling me that they're doing the right thing because she hasn't earned any of the attention. Well, she has earned the attention. If you can't see the bigger picture of what good she does for the league, then you are clueless as a basketball player. Hot and ready. Yeah. Yesterday, Walker gave up 2 home runs. A couple days before that, Nate Nola gave up 2 runs, including one to the guy hitting under 190. Aaron Nola's got a 3.03 ERA. Taijuan Walker's got like a 5.7 ERA. So let's not try to compare Taijuan Walker and Aaron Nola. Wins, losses are inconsequential for starting pitchers anymore. It's your ERA, it's your whip, it's how many innings you get deep into. There's so much else that goes into pitching. just this doesn't jive with me, Barbara. Trying to say that because it's reading to me that you're trying to be negative about Aaron Nola, and I think Aaron Nola criticism is unnecessary and over the top. If you're rooting for Boston, you need to take the white hood and tiki torch out of the. Oh my God, that was a little too much there. What is up, my man Brad? How you doing? Phillies versus Brewers matchup tonight. Yeah, we've got the matchup. The Brewers are a really good team. It's the first really good team that we've played in a little while, but it is home. And, we got Nola and Wheeler going in this series. We should win the series. I think anything less than a 2-1 record in the next 3 games would be a disappointment. Now I am concerned. We've got injuries piling up. You got the Ranger hand thing. Should be okay. We'll see. Brandon Marshall will probably be going on the IL today with a hamstring strain. Trey Turner's going to be delayed even longer. But I think in general, we should win this series. The Brewers are a very good team. But I really think they should win this series. Now, I don't expect the series sweep. But they need to come out. They need to play great baseball. And they need to prove it because there are still those naysayers out there that say that we haven't beaten anybody. Well, here's a 3-game stretch where you could beat somebody. Now, hopefully they're not looking ahead to this London series, all the work, all the media appearances, all the pomp and circumstances that going to London is going to bring. Hopefully. That would be my only concern there. But, yeah, I think they should win this series, and they need to win this series to make a point. Phillies go all the way and clinch playoff berth. Yeah, I mean, they're going to clinch a playoff. The Phillies could go 500 the rest of the way, and they still would have 92 wins or something like that. Just so you know. So I'm not worried about playoffs now. Now I want the division. Now I want home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Who cares? Yeah. Phil likes looking at the Celtics. What? Stop. Mitchie Poo. Tobias Harris or Taijuan Walker? That's what I'll counter your comment with. The Celtics are in the position they are now because the Sixers and Lakers, yeah, pretty much, Marshawn, 100%. Sorry. Okay. So because Aaron, like again, and Barbara, I love you. I appreciate you joining the Core 12, but trying to make an argument subtly that Aaron Nola is as bad as Taijuan Walker here. And it's not the case. Not even remotely the case. I just try to support small shops. Fox is small enough. I'm small, yeah, exactly. I support small law firms. I see what you're doing there, but no thank you. Hoskins sits out a lot for the Brewers. Yeah, I noticed. I went to check out his stats this morning, Barbara. He's only played in 40 of the 58 games. He's got 9 home runs, almost 30 RBIs. As always, typical Rhys Hoskins. His OPS is hovering right around 800, which is what he is. And Brad, I've brought this up already. I want to keep talking about it. The Caitlin Clark hate from the league, from the players, is just idiotic, asinine, stupid. And nobody's doing anything to help. The league should be like, you don't want to make exceptions. You don't want to, we complain about NBA, certain players getting the benefit of the doubt on foul calls and whatnot. I get you don't want to do that. But the league needs to step in. The league has to know. The teams, the players, the league needs to know. Caitlin Clark equals money. You want to get out from being subsidized by the NBA? You need to put Caitlin Clark front and center. You need to protect her. You need to protect her in a sense where when someone charges at you and shoulder blocks you down to the ground, that was like a premeditated attack. That girl needed to be kicked out of the game, and that girl needed to be suspended. Making a point that you're not going to take cheap shots at this girl. Everything is going to get better if they play their cards right. But they've had, and someone reminded me on Twitter that they've had big name kids come out of college into the WNBA before, and they didn't market and capitalize on them right. Caitlin Clark is in the opportunity to capitalize on it, to improve the league and the image of the league. Yet all they're doing is letting everyone knock her down, figuratively and physically. And it's the figuratively knocking her down, the trash talking, the calling her out, the people that are making comments about what has she done ever. Right. No rookie has ever done anything. But the NBA has focused on rookies and put them up at the top plenty of times to help the image, to help the money, to help the expansion of the league. The Caitlin Clark scenario is being freaking they're at a point where if they don't control this, there is a chance that it's going to backfire. There's a new league starting, a 3-on-3 league. She could jump ship to that. She could get hurt from all these cheap shots. Take advantage of your meal ticket. Who cares if you like her or don't? She's your meal ticket. Every player in the next 2 to 3 years will start making more money because of Caitlin Clark. Let's see where we're at here. Never. Sauce is where the flavor's at. Gonna make a trip one day to that try. Hey, come on out. Our sauce is fantastic. It's funny how nobody takes shot at Angel Reese though. Yeah, well, I don't want to. I know where you're hitting at there, and I don't get into that conversation often. I want to focus on the fact that her teammates, the league, nobody, the refs, nobody is standing up for her on the court. When is the last time the Phillies played a team over 500? Over 500 or 5? Because the Cardinals were 5. They played a whole bunch of teams that were right around 500 or one game above or below, and then we've swept them or beat them in the series. Like the Cardinals were 26-26 going into the series. Then we took 2 out of 3 against them. So now they're not. So that's happened a bunch. But I guess the Braves, well, the Reds early in the season were 7 or 8 games over 500 when we played them a bunch. They're not anymore. So they've played them, not recently. Their schedule has been light recently. April, but April was like 32 days ago. Not that long ago. The dough and the sauce is the best part of great pizza. I agree. I mean, cheese is important. Don't get me wrong. But you can get by with an average cheese if you've got a great sauce. The dough, I think the thing that people don't understand about pizza, now I'm getting deep, the type of dough you make has to match the pizza oven. Like my type of dough would not work in, like I have a regular oven. I don't have a brick oven. My dough would be terrible in a brick oven. You got to make a certain type of dough for a brick oven, and vice versa. So that's something people don't realize. I think this is the level of drop off we get in the season. Winning series 2-1 or tying series 2-2. I don't see us going 6-game losing. I don't either. We had that 3-game losing streak a week or 2 ago. That's about the max. Team's too talented, even with all the injuries that are slowly starting to mount. This team, because now you also had Cody Clemens, was scratched yesterday with back spasms. Dave Dombrowski needs to be active now instead of waiting till mid-July. Start making those calls now, and maybe in a week or 2, you have some reinforcements on this team. The WNBA will never not be subsidized, but it'd be nice if they could start making some more money, right? Wouldn't it be nice if this league started to turn a profit or get closer? Wouldn't it be nice if they could pay their players a little bit more? Wouldn't it be nice if more people tuned in? You make some of these women stars, give young girls something to look up to. Just saying. Maybe her teammates also want to see her get. Her teammates are doing nothing to support her. And that's, if somebody on the Sixers, if Joel Embiid got that shoulder tackle like Caitlin Clark did, you're telling me someone on the Sixers would not stand up for him and run right over there? Hell, even Ben Simmons stood up for Joel Embiid when he got in that scuffle with Kat a few years ago. But not one of her teammates stood up for her in that situation. The first person to stand up was on the bench from the other team to cheer it on. Ludicrous, the treatment that Caitlin Clark is getting by her league mates and teammates. Extra sauce. Who does ranch with pizza? Well, I don't dislike ranch with pizza. We do some ranch-based pizzas, like a little ranch sauce instead of pizza sauce with some chicken, some bacon, tomatoes, chicken rancher. I do a steak rancher with some cheesesteak meat on it. But yeah, I don't need to dip my pizza in a ranch like some people. 1,000%, Big Al, agree with you. If that was the WNBA, she would have been suspended. Or if it was the NBA, that person would have been suspended. And you know what? We'll just use this moment. Since it's not Caitlin Clark, should call a certain person. and I think you guys know where we're going with this. If you get seriously injured in work or in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, and I kind of feel like that shoulder tackle falls under all those categories except for the vehicle accident. Call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Law Firm. He is here to fight for you and get you what you deserve. The Cherry Injury Law Firm is a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Give him a call, 610-565-0300, or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Caitlin Clark, give him a call, 610-565-0300, or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Right back to the comments here, and I've got a lot of comments to catch up on here, not just the cherry bombs. We Yankees do blue cheese on a pizza, blue cheese with wings. The NBA should get her to compete with Steph or Dame in the three-point contest. Didn't somebody compete against Steph in the three-point contest at the All-Star game? Wasn't it her? Or was it somebody else? I thought it was her already. I said she should play in Europe, tougher competition. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I had a girl apply for a job at the pizza shop a couple weeks ago, Marshawn, and she plays women's basketball in Europe. Now, she's not good enough to play in the WNBA, supposedly. She was a starter at the University of Delaware. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. And she plays in Europe, and she just needed a job to supplement her income. She was only home for, June, July, and half of August. So I couldn't hire her for just 2.5 months. But we talked a little bit about this, and she said, based per day, the money is better in Europe. Now, you get a slightly bigger exposure. You get better endorsement deals if you're in the WNBA. She was talking about the WNBA. She wished they would do like a G League or expand the league enough where there are more roster spots, and she probably would make a team. But you can make more money per game in Europe than in the WNBA. And they're treated better. And then she made a sly joke, just don't bring any vape pens with you on your plane trip over there. I thought that was really funny. I almost hired her solely on that joke. Caitlin should bail in WNBA and do the 3-and-3 league. That would be hilarious. Yeah, absolutely, K1. And if they don't take care of her, there's a chance that might happen. For sure. Worst type of hazing Caitlin is facing. Like, why are we hazing her? Like, why? Word is Cube finally pay her. What? I don't even know what that means. Pizza is literally dough and sauce, fam. If you fuck that up, exactly. Speaking of dough, time for read. Well, I got one in there. This Caitlin Clark thing really worked well on the segue. How many All-Stars are going to be named from the Phillies? I have that written down here in my notes today. The record is 8. The Braves last year had 8 All-Stars. There is a scenario where the Phillies have 7 to 9 All-Stars this year, at least. You can make an argument that it should just be Phillies against baseball. But let's talk about this. How many All-Stars for the Phillies? You got Bryce Harper. He's having a good season, not a Bryce Harper elite season, but he's Bryce Harper. Alec Boehm definitely deserves a nod. All right. JT is having a great season catching, especially since he's been in the 2-hole. You can make a small case for Edmundo Sosa. Very small, but you could. Then you got Wheeler, Suarez, and Nola all have strong cases. Jeff Hoffman could make a case. Matt Strahm won't get it, but Matt Strahm should get an All-Star nod. Have I covered everybody? I think we're at 10 names there I just named that could theoretically get All-Star nominates. Orion Kirkering, if he keeps it up for another couple of weeks the way he's pitching, could get a nod. We're at 10, 11 names, Joe. There's a lot of names that could be All-Stars for the Phillies this year. And they really should be well represented. I don't even know where the All-Star game is this year. K1. Sure. Yep. Dough for a brick oven needs to be a little thick than normal pizza oven because it's hotter. Absolutely. When you're cooking a pizza in 60 seconds, you need a certain type of everything there. Brazil? No. We saved Brazil. We're going to do Brazil in a little bit. Harper, Boehm, Ranger, and Wheeler are locks for the All-Star game. Is Bryson Stott an All-Star? I don't think he is this year. Because you can't invite the whole team. I think Nola is a higher. Nola and JT are in this should be lock category. Harper's only a lock because of his name. He's having a good season. One of the better offensive first basemen in baseball. But I don't know if he's having that MVP season. He's had a lot of hot and cold stretches, but he's going to get it. I think you got to add Nola, and I think you got to add JT as locks. So I think lock-wise, there's 6 All-Stars coming to the Phillies. Honestly, it should be Matt Strahm, too. Still think Matt Strahm's only given up 1 run all year out of the pen. Absolutely agree with you on that. Absolutely agree. He's just been too hot and cold offensively. Watch WNBA at Miller Owl House when the wife and I went to lunch this weekend. And what did you think of it? Yeah, we got all the cherry bombs from a few moments. How far behind I am, I'm just getting to the cherry bombs. No, we have not done the Dolan's read yet. Embiid was pretty dirty in the playoffs this year, and nothing happened to him. I don't know if I want to say that Embiid was pretty dirty. We talking about when he grabbed the leg of what's his name? Kind of think he was trying to hold himself from getting stepped on. Maybe I see why some people think it was dirty, though, but I don't agree. Joel Embiid has been a dirty player at times. And you know what? That justifies, to an extent, some of the hard fouls he takes. But no one's reciprocating what's happening to Caitlin Clark. No teammates are sticking up for her. When Joel Embiid makes a dirty play, other opponents stick up for their teammate. The way you stick up for your teammate in the NBA versus the WNBA is drastic right now. Caitlin Clark. You want me to do it with an accent? Sabrina. I don't know who that is. Is that a W? See, I'm still learning the W. If that's a WNBA, that's my bad because I'm still learning. Yeah, I like to call audibles sometimes. It's Overreaction Monday. We are here to overreact. So I overreacted by reading David Archeri a little soon. My apologies, guys. Yeah, Caitlin Clark got no support from her team, and the other lady refusing to make herself available for the media. Exactly. Look, I know more. I've watched more highlights and more articles and clips and things on the WNBA than ever before. And yeah, I might actually watch some games now. But you know what? I'm not going to watch it if they just keep knocking her down without helping her out. She's the biggest star in the last 5 years to enter the WNBA. She's got the talent. She's got the mainstream press appeal. But yet the league is jealous. And that is not an overreaction, in my opinion. That's a fact, in my opinion. The WNBA is jealous. The league, the players, the teams, her own teammates are jealous of the attention she's getting as a rookie. Were there players in the NBA jealous when LeBron was getting all the hype when he was a rookie? Were there people in the WNBA, jealous when anybody gets the hype as a rookie? No. They look at it as more money in their pockets. They capitalize on it with TV deals and salary caps and max contracts going up. The WNBA should be doing, and the teams and leagues should be doing everything they can to support her because she could, in theory, equal more money for each and every one of them. Better food in Europe, too. WNBA plays some of the biggest haters. Darren Waller. Yeah, I saw the Darren Waller. I couldn't get through 20 seconds of it. Marshawn, is Kelsey Plum an athlete? Like I know it was about his girlfriend, but I don't know who it was. Is Kelsey Plum an athlete? Is she a WNBA or I don't know. But that was one of the worst music videos from an athlete of all time. Awful. And you know what? I heard rumors he might not play in the NFL anymore. I wouldn't want him on my team, just knowing how bad of a musician he is. Please, yes, hit that like button. It is free to do it. You hitting that like button, that share button, the subscribe button means more than you realize. Hit those buttons, please, guys. The more people that are watching, the better this show becomes. Audibles, yeah. Trey Turner would have been an all-star. Absolutely agree. Now he's missing too much time, and now there's a setback, according to Rob Thompson. Supposedly that setback was a week ago. I missed it until Buster Olney got it out of Rob Thompson last night on air. Didn't even know he had a setback. They let in everybody in the All-Star game. Well, the best team in baseball should be well represented. Phil, when movie show? What movie show? I love a thin crust pizza. I do love a thin crust pizza. Thin and crispy is really good sometimes. Got to put red pepper flakes on all pizza, all pasta. There's always a jar of red pepper flakes in my house and my shop for me. Always. Well, according to Phil, he can hit major league pitcher. I did not say that because Taijuan Walker is not a major league pitcher. All right. I didn't say I can get a hit against him. I said I can make contact against him. And last night, there was a stretch last night, or maybe there was somebody who said that maybe in his starts this year, 85% of his pitches have had contact made on them. I think I could get contact on a Taijuan Walker pitch, especially when he's throwing meatballs and beach balls up to the plate. I love a good buffalo chicken pizza. Got to have a good buffalo chicken pizza on your menu always. Thin crust is a sin. No, it's not. It's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Phil, Sabrina is one who competed against that. Okay, Sabrina is okay. Got it. It was so, but that's not me not knowing the WNBA players. That's just me having a fried brain that can't remember things from like 4 months ago. Without it in my notes, I can't remember it at all. Yeah. Go catch up. Yeah, exactly. Kelsey Plum was the number 1 pick the same year we drafted Fultz. Okay, and they both played at Washington. She was married to Darren Wall. Gotcha. Thanks for the detail. So she is a WNBA player. Gotcha. I bet you she was better than Markelle. I bet you she was a more successful number 1 overall pick than Markelle Fultz sure was. I don't think that's anything that red pepper flakes is in my. Yeah, it's not even in my spice drawer because I can't put it away. And then I got to pull it back out the next day. I use red pepper flakes on everything. 1,000% ordering pizza in 90 minutes. I don't open for 2 hours, but yeah, guys, we got some great sponsors here trending the AM, and I want to run off a couple of them here before we get to the halfway point. First off, it's sherrytickets.com. Great moments don't just happen; they happen with you and the crowd. Sherrytickets.com is easy to use, has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, play more. Sherrytickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That is EOP and then the numbers 1 and 0 at checkout, and it gets you 10%. So not only are you not paying hidden fees like all the other resellers, you're saving 10%. So why would you use any other reseller? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call, 610-494-5050. Let them know EOP, Trending the AM sent you. So 610-494-5050 or sherrytickets.com. Don't overpay with the rest. Save with the best. Sherrytickets.com. I don't know if I should say this, but women are more competitive than men at all levels. We compete with each other in sports and business, but women compete with each other in everything. And they are slick at it too. That's an interesting comment right there. And I'm going to put the main part of it back up there. It's interesting. Are they more competitive? I mean, men are very competitive as well. Maybe it seems like women are more competitive because they feel like they've got to be more competitive to stand out in the eyes of sports fans because less people watch women's sports than men's sports. But here's an opportunity for the WNBA to be seen by more sports fans. Yet instead of embracing Caitlin Clark, the league as a whole is trying to bring her down a peg, trying to knock her down, trying to let her, treat her like a rookie instead of the star she is. There's more Sports Center coverage of the WNBA in the last 2-3, it's been what, 2 months? Not even 2 months yet. About a month now of the season. There's been more coverage of the WNBA in the last month or so than ever before combined. Embrace it, people. Don't push it away. Embrace it. And I just do not understand why. All right, you don't like her? You think she hasn't earned the right to be hyped the way she is? That's fine. Play tight defense on her. Shut her up by beating. She was 0-7. You were shutting her up there. She's only just got her first 2 wins. But no, instead of embracing the attention, she's bringing attention in, and then you guys are knocking her down, figuratively and literally. While all these eyes are looking at your product for the first time, they're seeing dirty play. They're seeing attitude. They're seeing the lack of embrace. And even from her own teammates. And that's what bothered me. Hidden fees do suck. They do. They do. What is up, my man Steve? How you doing today? Greetings and salutations. Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome, one. Welcome, all. That's what I meant to say. People don't get that. If you know, you know. But anyway, I want to read through some of these comments that I got on a Twitter thread here. All I did was share out the thing that happened with the game, with my thoughts. Just saying, I think it's ludicrous that the league has been given this opportunity to grow, yet the women are just jealous. And let me read just some of these comments. And I'm not reading all the context to the situation. I don't think there's any extra context to the situation that I got to be worried about. Some people say that Caitlin starts the trouble. I haven't seen any Caitlin start trouble. Now, I have not watched a full Indiana Fever game yet, but I've watched some of it. JRB saying it's certainly jealousy. The coach is a clown for sticking up for her players, talking trash. Somebody saying that Caitlin Clark is a coddled, entitled, stick up her butt biatch, and they're trying to knock her off her high horse. That is an awful, awful comment. Somebody saying that Dana Taurasi made it clear it'd be tough for her and others. She's taking shots at the rookies. Freddie Defo saying, don't look now, but all the hate as people talking. People who said they wouldn't care. Maybe the WNBA orchestrating all this like the WWE. By the entire league, nobody's going to tell me it's not Caitlin Clark. I don't think this is hated. I just don't think anybody's out there trying to kiss her ass. Like the amount of comments I'm getting in support of the poor attitude towards Caitlin Clark from the league. It's shocking to me. It really is. Marcus Hayes. He's on another stream. Well, I got Marcus Hayes. Go comment on that other stream, Barb, and say that Phil at Training the AM is going to talk trash on you. I'm going to call him out again in a little bit here when we transition to a little Eagles talk because he had one of the dumbest ass tweets. If you're going to do every weekend the power rankings of dumb tweets of the weekend, odds are Marcus Hayes will be in it every single weekend when you rank bad tweets from the weekend. And yeah, he had another awful, stupid, idiotic tweet. Marcus Hayes. I'd rather say, I don't like to say their names. Marcus Haystack, Dan Simpleton, or Dan Sillyman, and Chris Simpleton. Those kind of guys. Click for clicks. That's all it is. And I would debate them on. They're terrible opinions. But they would never have the cojones to go one-on-one with the great one. Sorry, I had to say it like that. Sorry I'm late. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Couple things on Walker. He's a fifth guy. He's also, in the last 2 or 3 games, he wasn't getting ahead of batters. 3 last night, St. Louis batters. Yeah, look, so this is something I brought up at the beginning of the show, Mike. We crushed Taijuan Walker, including myself. And I think he's an awful player. Based off, he's the Tobias Harris of the Phillies. Overpaid, overhyped when he got here. Been saying that since day one. But if your fifth pitcher is going 5 or 6 innings and giving up 4 runs, isn't that what you want from your fifth starter? I mean, Taijuan Walker pitched 5 innings last night, gave up 4 runs. He kept us in the game. We went extra innings. Now they didn't win in extra. I don't know. I'm not fact checking this. This just popped into my head. I kind of feel like the Phillies struggle in extra inning games this year. I feel like I've fallen asleep in the 9th inning and woken up to extra inning losses multiple times this year. Someone do a fact check. Is a statistician listening? Do a fact check on that for me. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, like maybe we're too critical of Taijuan Walker. Now he ain't worth the near $20 million a year contract he's making. Just like Tobias Harris wasn't worth his contract. But again, it's not his fault he was overpaid. No one was offering him anything. And then Dave Dombrowski went and offered him 10 times market value. Of course he's going to accept it. Of course he's not going to live up to that contract either. So maybe we're Tobias Harris too harsh on Taijuan Walker. He is what he is. A fifth starter. That's all I want to say on that. Women may be more competitive, but I feel they are showing more jealousy. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Steve. I see nothing but jealousy from the players on her team, the opposing teams, all across the league. And in turn, fans as well. There's way too much jealousy going on. That's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. That's right. I'm the great one. I am the final boss, okay? That is all there is to say about that. 4 seems high. For what seems high? I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Did I miss a comment here? What Joey, sorry. What 4 seems high? 4 runs from Taijuan Walker seems high. But when you're the 5th starter and you get through 5 innings and give up 4 runs, it's an almost a quality start. I'm the anti-Taijuan Walker guy. I am. But, again, in theory, if your 5th starter only gives up 4 runs and gets through 5 or 6 innings, you should theoretically have a chance at winning the game when you've got an offense as potent as the Phillies. Just saying. At this point, there's a blueprint on how to defend Clark. Opponents are all going to play dirty and try to rattle her. That's gamesmanship. It's on her coaches and teammates to change that approach. Yes and no, Jason. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. What I'm going to say to this, Jason, is you can play hard. There's a huge difference between playing hard and playing dirty. That hit she took, was it Saturday night or Friday night? I forget now. This weekend was a blur to me. Get into what I did this weekend in a minute. But this weekend's a blur. So I don't know, Friday or Saturday night, whatever. That was a dirty play. That was a premeditated, I'm going to, as soon as this ball is inbound, I am going to shoulder tackle her. That looked like Hacksaw Jim Duggan down in the 3-point stance ready to run through somebody. And if you know that, his old finishing move, you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between playing hard and tight defense, and there's a difference between playing dirty, and that's what it is. There's gamesmanship, and then there's dirty play. And then, yes, on the second part is her coaches and teammates need to change that. They need to stand up for her. They got to tell people that that's not going to be acceptable on our teammate instead of saying, no big deal. Like I said, I reminded everybody when we started this conversation today. Ben Simmons even stood up for Joel Embiid when he got cheap shot that one time by Karl-Anthony Towns. Hell, Ben Simmons put Karl-Anthony Towns in a chokehold. He made Karl-Anthony Towns tap out. But yet nobody's standing up for Caitlin Clark. I feel like I'm the only one standing up for her. We are critical of Walker because we know we have better in Turnbull. I agree. You saw my tweets, Big Al. I got crushed saying it was a big mistake to take him out of the rotation. And you should have rid that hot hand of Turnbull till the arm fell off of him. That's all you got to do. And at some point, the arm would have fallen out, just like Michael Lorenzen last year with the Phillies. But you ride that hot hand till it's not hot anymore. And that's the problem. And it's also the fact that he's making $18 million a year that's a problem. Fans hate when athletes get paid X and don't play to that level. It's a fine line between overly competitive and jealousy. And I think the line is teetering towards jealousy because I don't think it's being overly competitive. I think it's playing dirty at times. That's why I think it leans towards the jealousy side of things. It's not Caitlin Clark's fault she's getting mega bucks shoe contracts. It's not. It's jealousy because they're not. But you know what? They should be seeing the money she's making and the exposure she's getting and the exposure that brings to the league, which means then the exposure that the league's getting means more of those women in the league could get shoe deals and commercials and celebrity status and whatnot. I don't know if this is true. Did they finally move on to private charters now? Like, literally, things are getting better like this for the league. And it's only going to get better. But yet they're jealous. Nothing annoys me more in life than people that are jealous of somebody else. Don't be jealous. Be better. Good morning, Eric. How you doing? We got lots on the table here today. Lots on the table. We haven't even talked Eagles yet. Haven't even really dabbled in the Eagles at all. 4 runs. 4 runs in 5 innings. It's not great, Joey, but it's not bad. It's not awful for a fifth start. Now, Zach Wheeler's giving up 4 runs every 5 innings, every start. Yeah, we got a problem. But when your fifth starter's doing it, it's not good, but it could be worse. I did not. I caught some highlights of it. I had a very busy weekend I started 5 different projects around this new house this weekend. Completed none of them, but I got about 30 to 40% done of 5 different projects. Start one project. I'm like, oh, while I'm doing something or taking a sip of coffee or water or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, let me do this. So I stopped that project, started another project. And I'm like, oh, hold on. What's going on there? Start that project. It just way too many projects. Way too many projects. Yes. There are links to my tip jars on Venmo and PayPal down below in the description. That's where you do that now. Phil doesn't talk LPGA. The names are too announced. Yeah. We already did the cherry. We already got that one done. I don't get the hate with Clark. She's bringing eyes and opening doors never thought imagined. Exactly. This is all I've been saying, Joey. There's a major difference in gamesmanship and playing hard and trying to push the rookie to earn her stripes, and a difference between being bitter, dirty, and I prefer the word jealous. And on my side, my left eye, I can see over here that there's a Maddie B comment down below. Don't even want to know what it says. Phil called an audible. I did. And we still got 2 more ad reads to do here, and we'll get to the next one in a minute. Phil didn't hit well last night. Bohm, Harper were like 0 for 10. Oh, I thought you were saying I didn't hit well. Yeah, no. They did not hit well last night. Lance Lynn. Dude, I thought Lance Lynn entered the league during the 93 Phillies run. I feel like Lance Lynn has been a pitcher in baseball for 37 years. I know he started in 2011, but man, that guy has been around. How hard is it to pronounce Park and Song? I don't know. Phil, I got a pop-up which said guest appearance from Phil. Yes, I will be joining Deebs and his show on Tuesday night. We got Fairway to Heaven at 6. Then I'll be joining their show at 8. We got lots going on. Lots going on this week. Phil hit the panic button. I hit no panic button. I never panic in life. Never. Ruin Yin is a challenge for the great one. Ruin Yin. I think I said that close. Ben Simmons saving Bede's life, applying the Stiefel crossface. Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with your definition between hard and dirty. I'm saying that the league has established that cheap shots will be permitted, and the league needs to step in and stop that. That play would have resulted in a suspension in the NBA. And it is on the team to change the narrative. If the league ain't going to stop it, your teammates got to stop it. And I'm not suggesting a teammate take a cheap shot, but a teammate can take a competitive foul on one of the other players, say it ain't going to happen, or run over and get in that player's face to say, yo, supporting the network on it, just so you know. Caitlin is paving the way. That is right. Phil does have a name. I do have a name pronunciation issue. Can't help it. Everybody's jealous of Tobias Harris' contract as well. Marcus Haystack is jealous of the great one. Marcus Haystack wishes he was as good as me. He wishes. But that is Ruin Yin. Ruin. I feel like I'm Stewie Griffin. Trying to say Kuwait. Ruin Yin? Ruin Yin? Is that how you say it? Caitlin and Angel is the women's bird and magic. That is what the WNBA needs. They could be marketing it. Now, I don't think Angel Reese is as good as Caitlin Clark. But you got 2 personalities. You got 2 stars. Build this league up. Kobe Bryant was right. He was working on developing a female basketball league with his daughter. WNBA is blowing up. Thanks to Caitlin Clark. Now protect her. Walker was brought here to be the 3 to replace Eflin. He was paid as a 3. He's pitching like a 5. I agree with that. I actually don't know if that was entirely why he was brought here. Now, maybe so at least it's not some kind of weird comment like bashing me. But I'm gonna say this, Maddie. This is what I always thought. I thought Walker was being brought in here because the Phillies did not think they could retain Aaron Nola, and they were replacing Eflin last year with the hopes that he would replace Nola this year. They overpaid him. No one else was giving him that kind of a deal. 4 years or $18 million a year. Problem is, he's pitching like a 5. Now, in theory, you got just like Tobias Harris. We had to stop thinking about the money. We just had to start thinking about what the player was doing in their role. Taijuan Walker's in the 5 role right now. Guys, forget about the money. He's in the 5 role. Is he doing well enough to be the 5? It's debatable. 4 runs in 5 innings is not great. It's not awful. It's kind of in between great and it's kind of in between not great and awful. It's okay. When you're 41-19, Taijuan Walker's your 5, I guess is acceptable. I'd like it to be better, though. We are so far behind on comments. The fact that Kennedy Carter said, I'm not answering Caitlin Clark's questions. Yeah, exactly. 1,000%, Steve, right. 12 will show for our boy. What? Oh, I got you. So, Maddie, Philadelphia teams never made mistakes. Just saying. We make a lot of mistakes. Who are your top 10 Phillies of all time? Is Bryce Harper in your top 10? Top 10, sure. I don't know. I'd have to think long and hard about that. Top 10 Phillies of all time. I mean, I could write this down. Top 10 Phillies all time. I mean, Schmidt's got to be up there. Carlton's got to be up there. You know, Pete Rose up there. Obviously, all the 08 Phillies up there. Bryce Harper's in the top 10, though. I think there's a chance if Bryce Harper wins a World Series for the Phillies, he would be in the top 3 Phillies of all time. I don't think I should say this. WNBA trying to do glow-style cat fights to push the viewership by men. It seems awful saying that, Duck. I get your first line that I don't think I should say this. But I don't know if you're wrong or not. I'm not sure. I need to change that. Rowan Yin. I was going to row as in fish eggs. I like that. He tried, Duck, and that's all. You can't ask for me more from me than trying. You know what you should try to do? You should try to check out PhillySportsTrips.com. They are the best company to use if you want to travel with your Philly sports teams. They are the premier travel and tailgating company there is for the best fans ever, the Philadelphia sports fans. They offer self-travel packages, full travel packages, round-trip flights, bus trips to see your Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, Union, maybe even the Water Dogs. They even offer day trips. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com, sign up, tell them EOP, Trending in the AM sent you. And don't forget, they got this great trip coming up at the end of the summer to Brazil to see our Eagles face the Green Bay Packers in Week 1. If that's too much for you, they have other trips coming up in less than 2 weeks. A trip up to Boston to see the Phillies against the Red Sox. Day trip down to Baltimore to see the Phillies. They got a trip in July to see the Cubbies and the Phillies play at Wrigley Field. PhillySportsTrips.com. Sign up. Let them know EOP and Trey and the AM sent you. PhillySportsTrips.com. Don't miss them. All right, that's sponsor number 3. We'll save Dolan's Bar for the end of the ad read. Do I know who? Are you trying to get me to say this name, Mister? After knowing how I say Alberto's name and some other names on this show, you want me to say this? Hold on, I gotta lean in. Arik Ogunbowale? Ogunbowale? Arike Ogunbowale. Am I close? Arike Ogunbowale. I got to be close on that, mister, right? I don't know who it is. But I'm also just getting started paying attention to the WNBA. Because I've never paid attention to the NBA. Caitlin Clark got my attention. And my attention is even bigger now because of the way she's being treated. The jealousy factor. I'm a businessman. I see Caitlin Clark as good business. What was the old WWE line? What's best for business? Caitlin Clark is best for business for the WNBA. Get the WNBA up to higher heights. Then you could do things differently. But right now, they should have written their schedule to give her the easiest schedule in the world to start. Keep growing that star. If you answer that question without putting Ashburn, Dick Allen, Jim Bunning, you're crazy. It's hard to do the greatest of all time when there's different eras, Mike, for sure. Because, yeah, Richie Ashburn, for sure, Dick Allen, Jim Bunning, they're all there too. It's very hard to put a top 10 list together for a sports team that's been around for 130 plus years. Very hard to do. You can Grover Alexander. None of us watched him, but you could, theoretically. Brazil. I like how you did that there. We may need to have a show where Phil just pronounced difficult names over all the leagues. Dude, it would probably be the highest rated show in YouTube history. Just watching me pronounce names. Love it. That was better than Christian Bezuidenhout. I don't care how you pronounce his name. He will be Bezuidenhout for the rest of my life. I will never say it any other way. EOP is best for business. That's the first accurate thing. That comment right there, Mitchie, might get your Trending in the AM band lifted soon. Keep saying things like that, and I'll get your band going here. Ogun Bowali or Goonbowala, depending on region. So I think I was close. I think I did a pretty good job on that name. I think I did good. If you spelled those names without Google, then you might want to enter. Hey, I won the Holy Cross third grade spelling bee, Mike Green, back in like 1991-ish. Guess I graduated in 94 from Holy Cross, I think. So that would be 91, sixth grade. I think. But anyway, I won the third grade spelling bee. No, third grade I'm thinking sixth grade would be 91. So third grade would have been like 88 or 89. So old. Think about I was in third grade in the 80s. Man, that makes me feel so old that I just made a joke about the third grade spelling bee, then thought and realized I was in the third grade in the 80s. My body feels old today because, again, all the projects, yard work projects, we got these vines growing up the side of our house, and we knew it when we bought it that it was going to be a problem because the vines are growing underneath some of the siding and stuff like that. The vines are dead, but we started cutting them off, and we cut off so many of the vines, and we're going to have somebody come out and work on the siding and stuff for us. But, man, I cut so many vines off that my back and body feels like I was in school in the 80s today, for sure. Home ownership is not for fat, out-of-shape, lazy people like me. Let me tell you that. I'm a businessman. Blood is a big expense. That is for sure accurate right there. I didn't, but I graduated from St. Lawrence and Lindenwood. Okay. St. Lawrence. There you go. Third grade spelling bee. We're talking third grade. Yeah, that's right. That was the highlight, the peak of schooling for Phil, okay, for the beard, was winning the third grade Holy Cross spelling bee. I peaked way too early. We'll just say. The rest of my life has been going downhill since then. Just so you know. Lucky there wasn't a pronunciation. That's a funny one there. Tampering allegations expected to come this week for the Phillies, Philadelphia Eagles, and Falcons. Wonder what it'll be. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot of Eagles this week. Obviously, OTAs start, mandatory ones. We'll see if James Bradberry shows up. Here's a question. Taijuan Walker or James Bradberry? Who would you rather not be on the team anymore? But yeah, and I do want to bring up the idiotic Marcus Hayes tweet from this weekend as well here. But let me tell you something. There's lots that's going to happen. Will Bradberry show up? Mandatory camp. Everyone will be there. We'll learn a little bit more because it's 3 straight days of practices. And I'm sure 1 or 2 of them the media will be in on. And then you got the tampering stuff that's going to come down. We're probably going to lose a draft pick, Joe. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman will probably be fine. And that's about it. You're going to lose a draft pick. which Howie Roseman's always got a plethora of draft picks. So I don't expect the punishments to be extreme in this. Bloodeth, yeah, that's true. That's right. Like and subscribe, follow. You're watching Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. Hit that like. I say this, Mitch, over and over again. It is free to hit that like button. It is free to hit that subscribe or follow button. It is free to hit that share button, guys. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Just like you support small businesses, support content creators, your local content creators. That way, we don't have to hit these topics. Like if we support the local content creators, what was the winning word? I don't even remember. I just still have somewhere in a box probably the certificate because my mom saved everything. But we wouldn't have to talk about idiotic tweets from Marcus Hayes if you supported your content creator. And let me read, if you missed Marcus Haystack's tweet it was from the 1st, which was Saturday, 8:14 a.m. It was to promote his latest article. Howie Roseman scrapped Reddick. Now, let me read this. I got to enunciate everything. Start from the beginning. Howie Roseman scrapped Reddick for Huff. First, he didn't scrap Reddick for Huff. It was a strategic move. His 2 first-round defensive tackles might be busts. In what world are we saying that Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis are already busts? There is no world. He threw assets at his defensive backs, but his $255 million quarterback regressed. Laurie considered hiring Belichick, hinting at, Nick Sirianni. Howie's on the clock. First and foremost, Howie is not on the clock. Sure, every single team probably talked in their inner circle about Bill Belichick. Jalen Hurts regressed, but also has been in a Super Bowl a year ago. He threw assets at defensive backs because it was our biggest weakness. Nobody is calling Jalen Carter a bust yet. Jordan Davis isn't being considered a bust. Maybe not the right choice, but not a bust. Howie Roseman took Huff he couldn't come to an agreement on Reddick. Like, support your local content creators. Do it. Hit those like and subscribe. Help the Edge of Phillies, the DSM Medias, the AAT Sports. Help the smaller companies that have been out here for years grinding and busting their humps, putting out quality content. Instead, we got people watching Marcus Hayes, no offense to Barbara, on whatever network he's appearing on right now. Who gives a crap about them? Support your local content creators, the ones that are busting their hump. No offense, not to support my own horn here. I'm out here 6 days a week or 6 shows a week, sometimes 7, 8, depending on appearances. 10, 12 hours of shows, plus all the setup and breakdown and all the prep work and stuff like that. But yet we got giving people like Marcus Hayes an audience. Dan Sileo, Dan Simpleman, Dan Sillyman, out there getting 5,000 views a day. Why? He's an idiot. It's not hard. And, we could be talking about the Eagles right now. We could talk about James Bradberry right now. But no, I got to talk about, for the 14 millionth time on this show, over the last 3+ years of doing this show, well, almost 3 years of doing this show, for the 14 millionth time, that idiotic takes like that get clicks. Yes, I get that. But that's not the way it has to be. Support the hard workers. Support the Joe Castros of the world. The Big Al's of the world. The Mitchie Poos. He's not just part of EOP. He's got his Hardcore Sports Network. Support your guys. They're out there grinding and busting their humps every day. But no. We got to deal with more Marcus Haystack shit. He has. And there was a point in time 25 years ago that Marcus Hayes was a respectable journalist. Not anymore. Exactly. Hey, it really irks me. Good morning, Mike. How you doing? The Water Dogs' hearts being broken again on Saturday. Again, as I said, I didn't watch it on Saturday. Had a very busy weekend, but I could have watched it. I still can't watch the Philadelphia Union, but I can watch the Philadelphia Water Dogs. Last year when the Water Dogs were started, I even had a guest on my show, on my previous network, to talk Philadelphia Water Dogs. I know nothing about lacrosse, but I'll give them the time of day. I love to learn more about lacrosse, Muffler Mike. I don't know if I'm angry. I'm confused. Am I smashing the topic, or you want me to smash the like button? Yeah, David Archeri is always watching, right? David Archeri is probably like the Will Smith character, always watching but never commenting. So you should smash. Hulk smash that like button. Hulk smash the subscribe button, the share button. This is an interesting one for me, Duck, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. Instead, we got stuck on, when it came to football, Marcus Haystack's idiotic comments. Is there a scenario where he is not getting, because I've already brought this up, Duck, on many occasions this offseason, that it's smarter to just keep James Bradberry. Like, if you cut him today, after June 1st, you can cut him and you can spread out his cap hit. Everybody knows all that, right? Is it smarter to cut him today and just walk away from him now, or let him go to mandatory OTA? Let him show up at camp. See if he performs better in Fangio's system. See if he's got anything left in the tank. And then maybe you find a way to trade him. Maybe you find out he's actually had that positive regression. He's not as good as all-pro level James Bradberry 2022. That was overachieving. But I don't think he's as bad as 2023 dog trash James Bradberry. There's somewhere in the middle where James Bradberry is. So there is a scenario where keeping James Bradberry, at least in the short term, makes a little bit of sense. Instead of just cutting him now, see what he's got. And if he does have nothing left in the tank, and you'll learn really quickly, hell, you can cut him at the end of the week after the mandatory OTAs. Now, if he doesn't show up tomorrow, then he's done. He's already been told, whatever. And maybe Howie's just trying to find a trade partner. But him still being here today, and if he's still here tomorrow, and he shows up to OTA tomorrow, there's a scenario where they're trying to find some value in him, whether on the field for the Eagles or in a trade. I think the James Bradberry scenario is more deep than people realize. Everybody loves Mitch. And Mitchie doesn't really have a ban from this show. I just like to say he does. You're talking legitimate sports news. Sills is all clickbait and hot takes. Marcus Hayes has become that as well. I try to talk what's trending. I try to give you guys a place to have your voice heard. Marcus Hayes don't give a rat's ass about what you guys think. Dan Silios don't give a crap about what you think. Marcus Hayes from upstate New York. He came here with an agenda. They seed plans here. Yeah, absolutely. Far too many non-Philly people in the Philly media. I don't see a Bradberry trade. They told him not to show up to OTAs. Did they tell him that? Is that a confirmed thing? I don't think he shows up. I don't think he'll be here. I'm just trying to lay out a scenario where maybe it makes sense to keep him around for a little while longer. If he is not traded before tomorrow, or cut before tomorrow, that tells me there's a different plan in place. Because as soon as that June 1st mark came, if you were going to get rid of him, you just get rid of him. There was no reason to wait. I'd be shocked if Bradberry shows up this week. I'm teetering on this, Deebs. I'm teetering. Teetering on. If he's not going to show up, why hasn't he been cut yet? You cut him as soon as you can. If he's not going to show up or you've told him to go away. What do you think a columnist who grew up a Giants, Knicks, and Yankees fan would cover? He's been here long enough where his allegiance should have switched a little bit. Makes no sense to cut JB now, but he probably doesn't make the 53. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Whether you cut him now or you cut him in August, you save the same amount of money, K1. Right? So just see what he's got. You never know. And then maybe someone gets injured in camp for another team, and you make a Sam Bradford, maybe not for a first-round pick, but the Sam Bradford trade came out of nowhere. It doesn't make sense to just cut him right now. Problem is that you have a good quarterback in Isaiah Rodgers who needs to play. We got a lot. You got Isaiah Rodgers. You got Keely Ringo. You got pick six Ricks. You got Slay. You got Quinion Mitchell. You got Cooper DeJean. You've got Isaiah Rodgers. You got Avonte Maddox. You got 8, 9, 10 guys. I get it. But what harm can bringing in a veteran like James Bradberry, at least through camp, do? Cutting them now or cutting them August 31st? No different. You have young quarterbacks who need playing time. It's fine. Don't think they can learn something from James Bradberry? James Bradberry has been in the league a long time. You've never been banned. If you actually believed you were banned, then I'm going to have to ban you if you actually think you were ever banned. Mitchie Poo is the homie. I love Mitchie Poo. Except for his fascination with Tobias Harris. I think Mitchie Poo secretly in his room has like 20 Tobias Harris posters hanging above his bed. And he looks at them before he falls asleep every night. He needs to show up at training camp unless they cut him because it will cost him money. Absolutely. Maybe they're trying to get some of his money back by having him not show up. Maybe that's a little tricky business plan right there from them. Trade Bradberry for the pick. You're not going to get a pick right now for James Bradberry, but let him show up. Let him show it on some of the highlight videos that reporters post, some positive plays that maybe you get a 6th or 7th round pick for. Maybe. You save more money on this post-June 1st by pushing him across years unless someone picks him up. Yeah. But it doesn't change whether they cut him June 4th or June 10th or August 30th. It's the same savings. It was pre-June 1st that the money would change. So he's here, so keep him around. You just got up from under heavy pain meds since I went through unsecured floorboards into a crawl space. Any update on Ranger? Ranger Suarez, hopefully you're feeling okay, Jose. But Ranger Suarez, they say the swelling has gone down drastically in his hand. Initial x-rays are clean. My guess is, though, that they'll re-x-ray when the swelling comes down because swelling affects x-rays a little bit. They said they expect him to try to throw a ball today or tomorrow. He's not scheduled to pitch till London on Saturday. So maybe if the swelling doesn't go down, they let him skip London. They could rearrange the rotation a touch because there are 2 days off this week before London. So we'll see how that goes. But expectations, you should be more concerned about Brandon Marsh's hamstring than Ranger Suarez's hand. Mavs in 6. We'll be talking a lot of NBA tomorrow. Deebs will be in the house tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot of Sixers tomorrow. But he needs to get cut before starting to play because his contract is then guaranteed and needs to be paid out if cut. Yeah. So you cut him before the season starts. Yeah. OTAs are not required by anyone but rookies and new camp bodies. Well, no. This week's OTA is mandatory. 4 to 6. The 4th through the 6th, everybody's required to show up today. Breaking news, Justin Jefferson got paid. All right, let me refresh my Twitter page here. Hit refresh on Twitter. Let's see what Justin Jefferson got here. I don't see anything popping up immediately on my Twitter page on this. There's Adam Schefter, a tweet about Justin Jefferson's stats. Here it is. Justin Jefferson extension that includes 4-year, $140 million for Justin Jefferson. $110 million guaranteed. Holy crap. 4 years, $140 million. $110 million guaranteed. Best wide receiver in football. Hands down. Could have been an Eagle. But the first thing I think of when I read that deal is, thank God, Howie Roseman beats everybody to signing his players. Now, the Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown extensions look like pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. I'm about to wrap the show up, so I can't share the screen, Mitchie Poo. I can't run overtime today. I've got 3 of my 52 sliced pizzas to make first thing this morning. $140 million, $110 guaranteed. It's a lot of money. Salary cap is fake in football for sure, guys. There's no way. It really exists. Yeah. Share the screen. Share the screen of your bedroom with all the Tobias Harris posters over your bed. Guaranteed. Well, it's a lot of guaranteed money for a wide receiver. Yeah, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith combined was what, 160 combined? And Jefferson got 140? I'll take our tandem over just Justin Jefferson. But you know what? Good for him. He deserves to get paid. Why not? Best wide receiver in football, hands down, in my opinion. Guys, if you're looking for a place to hang out, if you're looking for a quintessential Irish-American dive bar, then go check out our friends at Dolan's Bar for the last 65 years plus in the Ridley Park area. Okay? They are the quintessential Irish dive bar. They are located 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park, right off of I-95, south of the Philly Airport. Great music, food, drinks, times, memorabilia giveaways. Sometimes an icon walks through the door. Go check them out at Dolan's Bar. Tell PJ you heard about them right here. EOP, Trending the AM, DolansBar.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go check them out, guys. Dolan's Bar. You got to start the wrap-up process here. The final 5 minutes of the show. Howie dodged bullets there. Yeah. Justin Jefferson, $140 million. Worth every penny of it, honestly. They better hope they got the right quarterback. They better hope. If not, they find a quarterback. That's right. I wrote something down about Howie for last week, and I don't think we ever touched on it. Let me go through my notes here. I wrote down on Howie because Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are holding out in Cincinnati for their big. You got to think Jamar Chase is going to get the exact, Jamar Chase is sitting there like, thank God I held out and didn't sign too soon. Because now he's going to get $140 million, $141 million. JJ needs to get paid. He needs to be on a better team, though. Yeah, he's going to be wasted over the next 2 years in Minnesota while they develop a quarterback and see if he's got it. If he doesn't have it, then they got to move on to the next quarterback, so on, so on. Ranger Suarez came up through the Phillies farm system. Now we just need Andrew Painter. Well, Andrew Painter needs to get healthy. And that is for next year. Would you trade Andrew Painter? I'm going to write that down. That's a topic for this week. Would you trade Andrew Painter? I saw someone hint at that because he is coming off of Tommy John surgery, and he'll be back next year. You don't know what he's going to be like. Would you trade Andrew Painter for the right deal? I say yes. That's like buying a Ferrari without having gas money. That's a great one there, News. Great. And I saw your comment that was left last night. We touched on at the start of the show. You need to get a Chinese restaurant sponsor so I can use this stupid. Yeah. They better hope JJ is him. They better. And if not, then they'll be moving on to somebody else. And they better, you got to think that they're hoping Justin Jefferson is going to help JJ McCarthy at least be solid. I really like JoJo Romero. I thought he'd be better than Ranger. Yeah. Jerry Jones, probably cussing. Yeah. All these guys get paid, yet CeeDee Lamb still not getting paid. CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase are thinking, excellent. Going to get cash. They can stay competitive while developing a quarterback. Yeah, Justin Jefferson is the quality of a wide receiver that an average to below average quarterback is going to be looking better with. Look, the same thing. There are Jalen Hurts naysayers out there that say Jalen Hurts isn't that great. He's just got two elite wide receivers. So J.J. McCarthy could look not elite, but okay as a rookie because he's got Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in football. They still got T.J. Hockenson too, don't they? So, they got the foundation to build around J.J. McCarthy now. Yeah, by who? Who is CeeDee going to get paid by? Jerry Jones is setting up to blow up the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and somebody else, one of their other guys, is not under contract long term. He hasn't paid any of his three biggest stars. Jerry Jones is bombing. I'm all here for it. I love it. Jerry Jones being the fourth best show in Dallas. Absolutely. Jordan Addison ain't bad either. Yeah, absolutely. Vikings are in a really interesting spot. But we got to wrap this show up. I can't run overtime today, guys. Guys, like I said, and like I went on my rant, like, share, subscribe. It's free to do. Please do those things. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to dive into Sixers tomorrow a little bit. We'll talk, obviously, football as well. Deebs will be joining me tomorrow. Deebs and I are doing double duty. He's going to be on my show. I'm going to be on his show tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. But we're going to tackle some Sixers rumors and stuff like that. JJ will need to let all these contracts lapse and rebuild from the chances. Maybe. Yeah. Go Birds. Ring that bell. That is right. So we've added a third one, Duck. It's Go Birds. It's Ring the Bell, and it's Bubbles Up. Okay, that's how we now do it. We've added the word Bubbles Up for everybody. Okay, and we're gonna start tomorrow off talking Sixers, probably Phillies, Eagles. Everything's on the table. Deebs will be here, maybe for the full 90 minutes. So bring your thoughts, bring your Sixers comments to the table, guys. With that being said, like, subscribe, share, follow. Guys, I am Phil Stiefel. This is Trending in the AM. Go Birds. Ring that damn bell. And yes, Bubbles Up.